Toxic chemicals are found everywhere these days, but you can reduce your family's exposure at home. It's easy and low cost. Today, we're making DIY laundry soap. Hi, I'm Heidi with the Palmer Public Library in Palmer, Alaska. Welcome to our DIY community program. Now, I've been using this laundry soap for about 20 years in both front-loading and top-loading washing machines. My recipe makes 1 gallon of laundry soap, which consists of about 32 loads if you are using a half a cup. I get 123 loads out of 1 gallon because I use 2 tablespoons in my front-loading washing machine, and I also have a home water softener system. So if you have harder water, you'll use more soap. If you have soft water, you'll use less soap. So the whole recipe that we're making today is going to cost a total of 95 cents. So that's 95 cents divided by the number of loads that you would get out of 1 gallon would be your savings. For this recipe, you're going to need borax. This is a water-soluble, naturally occurring compound that is found in evaporated seasonal lakes or mined. It softens the water, so you could probably leave this out if you have a water softener system at home. I go ahead and put it in because it also helps clean. The next thing you're going to need is washing soda. This is not the same as baking soda, however, it is made from baking soda. They take baking soda, which is a naturally occurring compound, and heat it on high heat that evaporates the hydrogen and carbon dioxide from the baking soda and changes the compound structure to washing soda. Washing soda is not edible. You cannot use this in your cooking if you run out of baking soda. However, you can use baking soda in place of washing soda. It just won't be as potent. You could double the amount of baking soda to washing soda if you would like, or you can use the same amount in your recipe. This is very inexpensive and easily found in the laundry aisle of your local store. The next thing we're going to use is liquid Castile soap. There are several brands of this on the market. You can get it at the grocery store. I got this one at my local grocery store in the organic cleaning section. You want to make sure that it is pure Castile soap and not a body soap or a shampoo or something else. It needs to say pure Castile soap. What is in this is vegetable plant oils and lye. That's what creates the soap. And what happens when you add this to water is that it charges the atoms, and those charged atoms will grab onto the dirt in the fibers of your clothing, and that's what removes the dirt from your clothing, is this Castile soap. This is also a low sudsing soap, which is why I use it in my front-loading washing machine with no problems. Now, here is the disclaimer. Using a homemade laundry soap that has not been approved for your washing machine may void your warranty, so you should use this at your own risk. The next thing you're going to need is lemon juice. Lemon juice is citric acid that bleaches. It's a mild bleach and brightens your clothes. Okay? You're going to need some hot water. You're going to need an empty 1 gallon jug. You will need a tablespoon measuring spoon. You will need a permanent marker, and you will need a funnel. If you don't have a funnel, you can roll up a piece of paper to use as a funnel instead. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing you're going to do is we are going to add a little bit of water to the bottom of our gallon jug here. And this is just to help dissolve the powders. You don't have to measure this, it's just, you want to cover the bottom of the jug. This is very hot water out of my tap. Next we're going to put in borax. That's going to be 4 tablespoons. I'm just going to pour it right in there. And we're going to put in 8 tablespoons of washing soda. All right, and then I'm going to put the lid on my jug and hold the lid tight, and I'm going to shake this just to dissolve those powders, okay? The next thing we're going to put in is the liquid Castile soap. This is 2 tablespoons. So this one 32-ounce jar of soap will last a very long time. You can also use this soap for your body, for other cleaning. It's just a low sudsing soap, okay? So I've got 2 tablespoons of my Castile soap in there, and next is going to be lemon juice. That is 4 tablespoons of lemon juice, and I should have pre-measured this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now, all I'm going to do next, and you can see I've got my solution here at the bottom. All I'm going to do next is finish filling up the jug with hot water. You can see that I've got my clean jug filled up with the laundry soap. I finished filling it with the hot water, and I've shaken it up. Dried off the outside, and then I've taken my permanent marker and I've written the recipe measurements right here on the side, so I don't have to look it up for wherever I'm stored it. And then I'm going to write, once you figure out how much laundry soap you need for your hard water or soft water that really cleans your clothes and doesn't leave any residue, you're going to write that amount right here on the side of the jug, and then you're going to get a corresponding measuring cup is what I use. It's just a 1/8, actually it's a quarter, but I use 1/8 of a measuring cup, which equals 2 tablespoons. A quarter of a measuring cup is 4 tablespoons. If you have very hard water, you want to use a 1/2 cup of laundry soap for each load of laundry. Like I said, my water is soft, so I use 2 tablespoons. I also have a front-loading washing machine. If you use a front loader, you'll need less water. The 1/2 cup is really for a top-loading washing machine. So just experiment with your laundry soap in the beginning and see what happens. If your clothes come out and they're a little bit stiff or a little bit not soft, and maybe they still smell a little bit like laundry soap, then you use less. If they're coming out and they're just not quite clean, you want to use a little bit more. So there is a kind of a learning curve until you get it figured out. So once you figure that out, go ahead and use your permanent marker to write the amount that you need per load. Get a corresponding measuring cup, or you could use a tablespoon, just the spoon measuring. I find that the cup is less messy, and I use a 1/4 cup, even though I only need 1/2 of that. Just gives me a little leeway for splashing and things like that. So every time that you want to use your laundry soap, you want to just make sure that you hold your hand on the lid, give it a good shake, and then go ahead and measure it out, put it in your washing machine, and use it as usual. So now I'm going to tell you how I do soften my clothes. So fabric softener instead of commercial fabric softener. I just use plain white vinegar. Vinegar helps to just pull the rest of the soap residue that might still be in your clothing out of your clothing. And I put this not in the wash cycle because it will help, it will prevent the soap from working. I put this in the fabric softener cup of my washing machine. Or if you don't have a fabric softener cup, just go ahead and put it in the final rinse of your washing machine, and it will help to get all of any soap residue that's left over in your clothes out of your clothes. So fabric softener in the wash is going to be vinegar. The clothes are going to smell a little bit like vinegar when they come out wet, but they will that smell just goes away when they dry off. If you do not use a dryer and you hang out your clothes on the clothesline, then vinegar is what you really need so you don't have stiff, crunchy clothes at the end of the day. In fact, if you have stiff, crunchy clothes, it means you have too much soap left in your wash cycle. So you need to cut down the amount of soap you have as well. The other thing I use to soften clothes are wool dryer balls. These go in my dryer. I put a couple of drops of essential oil on them, real essential oil, not fragrance oil. About once a month or so. They give the clothes very slight fragrance, not too smelly at all. You don't have to use any essential oils. You can just use the dryer balls themselves. They work by separating the clothes, which is basically what a dryer sheet does. It just keeps the clothes from clumping together. But the dryer balls also absorb a lot of excess moisture. So your dryer cycle is going to be even lower, less time than regular, by about 10%. It saves about 10% on your dryer cycle because they will take in the extra moisture. All right, so when you have stains, for pre-treating stains, I use a couple of things. So I still use Dawn Blue dishwashing detergent. I don't know if it has to be blue, but I like the blue, so I stick with the blue. But it does need to be Dawn. I found that Dawn is the best one. It does lift grease even out of clothes, also off dishes. And it goes great on grease stains. It doesn't bleach clothes. It doesn't discolor clothes. So it's really good in your kitchen and in your laundry room. So I will use some Dawn on grease stains or other stains that I may have. If you have blood stains, hydrogen peroxide is the way to go. Hydrogen peroxide will get blood out of most fabrics. Do not use this on linen or a linen blend fabric. It will eat through the linen if it sits on it too long. It will weaken the fibers anyway. So what you want to do for that is to run the blood stain under cold water. The fresher the blood stain, the easier it is to get out. So you're going to run it under cold water, never hot water. Hot water will set the blood. Cold water will rinse it. Then you're going to put the blood stained area in the bottom of a glass bowl or the bottom of your sink that's been plugged up. And you're going to just cover it with straight hydrogen peroxide and let it sit for 30 minutes to an hour. Then you're going to come back and check it. Rinse it under cold water again. If the stain is still there, go ahead and do this treatment again for another hour. After that, you probably aren't going to get too much more of the stain out. But most of the time the blood is gone. So I can't remember an instance where I didn't get all the blood out of a garment with just hydrogen peroxide before I laundered it. You don't want to let this sit overnight. You want to do maybe 30 minutes to 60 minutes at a time for each treatment. If you can't launder it right away when you finish soaking, go ahead and rinse it under cold water and let the item dry. Then you can throw it in your wash the next time you do laundry. Okay? For ring around the collar or underarm stains, you can make a paste out of hydrogen peroxide, a couple of drops of Dawn, and some baking soda. Rub that on, let it sit for an hour, maybe 2 hours, and then rinse it off, throw it in the wash, you're good to go. All right, so I hope you've enjoyed today's natural laundry soap making adventure. Let us know in the comments down below if you try it, if you like it, if you tried it and you didn't like it, if there was something you didn't like about it. Maybe we can help you troubleshoot some of that kind of thing. I am going to leave a link down below for instructions on stripping your laundry. You should strip your laundry whether you use a homemade soap or a commercial detergent every once in a while, because just doing regular laundry doesn't get out every bit of oil, and eventually your clothes are still going to build up some oils and dirt that just isn't going to come out with any kind of regular laundering. So stripping laundry is another project for another day. We'll see you later. Thanks for visiting the Palmer Library. Bye-bye.